welcome back to the Gamer's Vault. I'm your host James, aka Outbreak Survivor. Today, I'm doing part 2 to my game room tour. So the first thing before I get started, I'm gonna let you know a couple of things that are gonna be happening up in our channel. The first one is I'm doing a repair video. The next one you're gonna see is a repair video, and it's gonna be for the Sega CD. This one, according to the eBay that I bought it from, doesn't power on. And if it doesn't power on, how can you test it, right? So I bought it. It's coming soon. It's going to be coming on this channel here. But I have a small company called Double J IT Consulting, and around my area we do a lot of computer repairs and home theater, some console, and of course like iPhone and Android repairs. But we are going to start taking the repair market to the internet. And what I mean by that is, if let's say let me use you guys for an example. If you decided, hey, you know what, that mod of a Game Boy that you have, I want it for mine. Why don't you do it for me? And then you send it to me, and I will mail it back to you. Done. Same goes for any broken consoles. If you have a console that's broken and you kind of don't want to do the repairs that I'm showing you guys, and you're a little nervous or a little bit scared about that, you send it to my company. My company will go ahead, fix it, give you a 30-day warranty on it, and send it back. So, and as you can see, you're going to be seeing the quality of work that I produce coming out of this video. But anyway, beside that, Sega CD is the next episode, and I wanted to show you. I'm really, really excited and kind of nervous because I've never done a Sega CD repair, but every other console I've done. Every one. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Xbox 360, and I have, like I told you during the video, you're going to see it now, I have several of them that I'm going to be fixing. Putting it out there, and if you want it modded, I can mod it, and I'm going to give it off as trading. I'm going to trade it off to somebody because I have too many of them. I don't really need all those Xboxes. I've got too many. Beside that, I want to do a history video, but I'm going to wait on that a little bit because I got a couple of things in mind for a history video. I just got to find out which one I'm going to go ahead and go after. And yeah, just more repair videos, more mods, more Super Nintendos. I have a Super Famicom that's yellowed. I want to show you guys how to get rid of the yellow on the console, so that way the console looks gray like it's meant to look. And I'll tell you why it does that during those videos. So without further ado, and I'm sorry I went off on a rant, I'm going to show you my part 2 to my game room tour. And I'm going to challenge you guys too. I'm going to challenge you all to actually go ahead and show me your videos. Let me take a look at your game rooms. What do you have? We'll go from there. Enjoy. Oh, by the way, the camera's shaky, so please forgive me. The camera is shaky. It happens when you're doing it by yourself and you're trying to get the camera to cooperate. Some of it did, not a lot of it didn't. But either way, I wanted to at least get you out there and see what you guys think. Enjoy. Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. So we're going to do the last part of our series today for the game room. I'm just going to move the camera a little bit, then we're going to take you into cartridges in a minute. So let's go to the Nintendo Powers. I have a lot of Nintendo Powers, as I said before, but these are my favorites. Alright, so we're going to stop here for a minute, and I'll show you my favorites. I'm trying to... Okay, so then you've got Castlevania issue number 2 from Nintendo Power, the second issue. I don't have the first issue, so I was lucky to get that one. It's still, most of it's sealed in plastic, and I put it in a frame, so there you go. Then next to it is Link's Awakening, which is the 50th anniversary of the game magazine from Nintendo Power. So, 50th anniversary, so they gave it a Link's Awakening as the front cover. The one that's a little bit blasted with light right now is Secret of Mana. So that one I have as well, and then you've got the Super Castlevania 4. I love this magazine. I used to, when I was with my brother when I was younger, we used to play the hell out of that game. We beat that game. Anyway, next one. We're going to start at the top. These are all Game Boys, starting from the original Game Boy all the way on to the 3DS XL. Now, I have the 2 models that everyone's look out for. I have the Game Boy Advance 101 and the 001. One of them is brighter than the other, and Nintendo stopped making them because of cost efficiency. Of course, they always have cost efficiency. So Nintendo stopped making them. That's pretty much what it comes down to. I've got almost every Game Boy ever made by Nintendo except for two. I don't have the Trend Micro, the Micro Game Boy. I don't have one of those. I don't own it, and I don't have the 2DS. Everything else. Oh yeah, and the new 3DS XL, but I'm not really too crazy about getting that. The 2DS and the Game Boy Micro is the ones I need to complete this particular collection. So a little bit further down, I'm going to show you is, sorry, that's my computer. A little bit further down, I'm going to show you is my consoles. To the left, on the very left, on the second shelf, is the Super Famicom. You're going to see another one of those, and I'll tell you about that later. But, yep, Super Famicom, gray still, so it's pretty good, and it works. So, pluses. The next one next to it is the original American version of the Super Nintendo. So I have both Super Famicom and the Super Nintendo. Super Famicom definitely came from Japan. I got it from Osaka, from a guy out in Japan, and it was my birthday last year. I bought it for myself. Yeah, pluses. Next to that is the Nintendo 64. Everyone knows the Nintendo 64. So, I got that one. I got the Nintendo 64. I got more than one, actually. So I have one for trade, and I got one complete in box. Next to that one, there's an N64 is, as you can see, the Sega Dreamcast. I have the Japanese version of the Sega Dreamcast. It works really well. Actually does really well, and it does a lot of copy games and stuff. But I have a small library of Dreamcast games, so I don't really care too much about that too much. I got a couple of those, stuff like that. Also, I wanted to show you guys a treat. So, real quick, at my Game Boys, I'm going to get up in a minute and show you this. I have the Game Boy, the original Game Boy, as you can see. And I'm going to borrow a game. Let's go ahead and borrow Pokemon Red. I hope this works. No, yes it should. It works. It should work on the original Game Boy. And I gotta blow on it still. Alright, the reason why I want to show you the original Game Boy, because I modded this one. I have original one. Oh my god. There we go. So, I wanted to show you this one. See? Yeah, I put a backlight on this one. And as you can see, it works really well. I gotta do an inverter, because the characters look a little crappy. But as you can see, it does work. Sound works really well on it. And sorry about that. I had to put it back in the film. But yeah, I modded that one. So in a future Gamers Vault episode, I'll go ahead and I'll do the inverter so you guys can check that out and see how that's done. If you have any questions about how I did it, let me know down below. Or message me. I could show you. So, moving on. I wanted to show you that. I'm sorry, I should have showed you before. I have the Atari 5200. The Atari 5200 complete in box and each game is like brand new inside there. I bought this with my dad on Christmas Eve last Christmas before he moved to Florida. We went to a thrift stop and the lady knew I like to pick up console games, and she was like, I have a console, I just came in. And I was like, okay. 85 bucks. I ran so fast to pick it up, and it works. Everything works on the 5200. I'm missing a 26. I have a 78, but I'm missing a 2600, which is kind of funny. Anyway, let's go a little further. Alright, so, you have the two Nintendos. The reason why I have two Nintendos, a friend of mine gave me one, and the other one is my fiance's childhood Nintendo. So, I kept them both. So, yeah. Next to it is another Super Famicom. And the reason why is, when I bought my Super Famicom, the one that's next to it was the one I bought. And when I got it, it was cracked on the side. And I was like, listen, you told me that this was mint. It's cracked. So the guy was like, I'm so sorry. I tell you what, I'll send you another one. And that's the one that's gray on top. He goes, you can keep the one you have. I'm like, you know what? Fine. I couldn't bear to throw it out, and I have an idea for a project for it later on for you guys. So I'm going to leave it there for now. And on top of it has an adapter that takes Americanized Super Nintendo games and make them on the Super Famicom, because Nintendo was assholes. And they really, really, really didn't give us any choice to put for the Super Famicom. So there you go. It's them making money. Next to it is the GameCube with the Game Boy Advance bottom half and the Wavebird controllers. So that works. And next to that is the joystick for the Nintendo and wireless controllers for the Nintendo. Wireless controller port. It has four ports that you can use wireless. So there you go. A little further down is my Segas. I love Sega. So I have the Sega Game Gear, and it works. I gotta replace the screen to update the screen on it, but it works. Then you got the Model 1 Sega Genesis, and I have 2 of them. So another friend gave me one, so it's like, oh, thanks. I have 2 Sega Genesis Model 1s. Next to that is the Model 2, so I got that one. Next to that is the Sega Saturn. I got that Sega Saturn too. That's not so bad. And the actual replays, I could play Japanese titled games on the Sega Saturn. Which, by the way, I gotta say, out of all consoles that needed to be modded or hacked at the time, the Sega Saturn was the least console they couldn't hack. Someone just figured out how to hack it, and it was just so crazy. They just figured out how to hack it about a year ago, 2 years ago. I think I have a video for that, and I'll put it down in the description below. But yeah. Someone just figured that out. I thought that was pretty cool. And I got the joystick. I bought that on Christmas, ironically. Someone was selling it for 20 bucks, and I was like, sure, thanks. Done. A little further down. Yay. Alright, on the top left, you'll see a 7800 Atari. Someone didn't want it. No controllers, no wires. It was like, listen, I don't know if it works. It does work. I had a friend of mine who had a 7800, and I tested mine, and it works perfectly. So I kept it. I have to get the controllers and wires. I haven't had the time to buy them. Underneath it is the Xbox Original. So that works. I have another Xbox Original that I'm going to hack and mod and put in the hard drive on it, and that's going to be in a future episode of the Gamers Vault. Next to that is the PS1. I bought it for $15 at a thrift store. I was like, okay, sure. And you see the 2 original PlayStations. One of them doesn't work. It boots up, it doesn't work. So another repair video. And then once it's repaired, I'm going to put it up for trade because I don't need... I have now 4 PS1s. Yeah, so... yeah, one of them's going to be up for trade later. So, boom. Underneath that is the dance pad, a wireless one. Because I have, as you saw, the PS2... like Dance Revolutions. I have them all, the whole collection. I bought it for $5 each one, and I thought it was pretty cool, so I picked them up. Next to that is the actual how you say that, the running, oh my god, I feel so stupid now. It's been so long. It's the track and field. That's the track and field pad. That's what that is. That is the original track and field pad that works for the Nintendo. So next to it, down here, I'll show you real quick so you guys can see it, is a box full of stuff. A friend of mine came over and was like, listen, I know you collect, and I have all this stuff here, and yeah, so do you want it? And I'm like, sure. I have so many Xbox 360s, I can build a castle, by the way. A lot of my friends gave me the original Xbox 360s. I have like 8 of them, and each one of them has a red ring of death, and I can fix it. I just haven't had the time, but once I do fix them, I'm probably going to put them up for trade or sell, because I really don't need them. And I can mod them too, so just to leave it out there, guys. Now, I'm going to show you the top half of my cabinet here, and then I'm going to take you in to see the games that I have, because I'm not going to just start naming them all out. It's just too much. So let's bring the camera up so you guys can see the top half. And we'll put all of it in the shot. Alright, so starting from the left is the Nintendo's version of Nintendo Power Remake magazines. They came into a book, and I was like, take my money, please, take my money. So that one was a plus. And I'm going to take it, oh, no, there we go. So I'm going to take them down. And of course, I'm going to fix them up a little bit so you guys can see. So, GoldenEye Complete in Box. This I thought was pretty cool, and I got it for 40 bucks. It's this one right here. It's the Nintendo Double Player head-to-head wireless headset, wireless remote controls. I thought that was really cool. It was made by Acclaim. And I was like, John, sure, no problem, take my money, $40. On the top of the N64 Complete in Box is the Mini NES Classic Edition, the original 30 games. There's a lot of room, not a room, excuse me. There's a lot of mods right now that you can mod it and put the entire Nintendo collection on it. I'm not going to do it this one. It's made by Nintendo and it deserves to be Nintendo. If I wanted a crap load of games, my Raspberry Pi video, you've seen it. I'm not going to do it. It just makes no sense. Next to that is Turok Wars, Rage Wars. I got it for like 20 bucks. Power Glove. I've had it for a very long time. I even got the connections for it. It does work, so. Resident Evil 2 for N64. Then you got Mega Man character I got from Time Warp Games. I told you guys about them. I bought it from them. Underneath that is the PlayStation 2 20th anniversary headset that's still sealed in box. I did not open it because I do not choose to use it. I have another headset for my PS4, but I thought that was pretty cool for the 20th anniversary. And underneath that is my favorite character. I like Harley Quinn. I love her voice. She makes me laugh every time she speaks. And of course, if you guys haven't seen it, I took it down. But I have the collector's cases of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. The expansion pack that everything's talking about, all my N64s have it. I think the tradable one has one too. I don't know for certainty. But all my N64s have one. So yeah. Now, I'm going to take you guys in to my, or at least the best that I can. I'm going to take you guys into my collection of NES games, the best that I can. So please forgive me if you haven't seen a lot. If you want me to do it slowly, I can. So here we go. Let me go ahead and take you off the tripod first. It's going to be shaky. I'm sorry. Alright. This is the best thing I could do without pulling off the... I gotta get a new battery pack. Here we go. Ghosts and Goblins. Wow, I didn't remember I had that one. Go-Go 13. RoboCop. So. I have a couple of old ones. Blackthorn was pretty cool. I got that one too. Neo Geo Pocket. Go back a little bit further. This is the N64 Fall Watch. Pretty much when they launched N64, they gave this to all the press. And I got it for like 80 bucks. It's pretty cool. Some Tengen games. I gotta get more Tengen games. I love Tengen. No, it's not Escape at Dinosaur Peak. It's the Rescue Dino and Hoppy with the manual. I wish I had Flintstones Escape at Dinosaur Peak. I think I would shit myself. Let's go a little further down here. I'm gonna get down on my hands and knees so you guys can see a little better. Sorry about the shaky again. Resident Evil Gaiden, one of the worst Resident Evil games for Game Boy Color. I love my Castlevanias. Have a lot of N64 games, including Smash Brothers. I have Game Boy games next to it, but they're not really anything to just run home and tell Mom about. Alright, a little further down. Castlevania, some of the new ones in SAC. Sealed N64, well not sealed, but collector's case of Soft Fox. I thought this was cool. This is a Mogul, and it's holding Final Fantasy 3. And I love that. And it's all complete. These are my complete collections. They're my Dreamcast games with my Saturn. I told you guys I don't really need too many Dreamcast games. It wasn't really a system that I ran for. But I have a lot of Genesis stuff too. That's a remake, the Mega Man that says Capcom on it. That's a remake cartridge that we never gotten. I'll do that in a later episode and I'll explain that to you guys. I don't do a lot of remake cartridges, but those not what I needed to collect.
I just got these in, so I have a second. See, that says Fairy Tale Adventure. I'm doing that as a trade later, so I already have one that's second. So there you go. This is my entire collection, guys. 17 minutes. So let's go back and I'll do our end credits for us. Thank you guys for watching.